Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sportsbook Box Office Podcast. I am here. Excuse me. What's wrong with me already? I am your host, Kevin Goatee, and of course, Jeffrey Paul is also here. Awful here.
This is what this show's going to be already.
He's got a Tampa Bay hat. That's just bringing out the worst in everybody. What do you want? Joining us also today, Frank Pellegrino, everybody.
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no problem. We're coming to you from the basement, the Broadway Comedy Club, 53rd and 8th here in torrential downpouring New York City.
You're a real muttering, stuttering prick today, aren't you?
Wow, look at you, ripping out a good old line from Goodfellas.
There we go. Good. That's the first thing you got right since we started this.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we start the game. That's the game, right? That's the movie.
That's it. Well, let's first introduce Frank for a second.
We can.
Okay. Frank is a buddy of mine. I know Frank for a couple of years now. Frank used to be a host on a pretty good TV show and podcast himself, right? What was it, 3 Drink Minimum?
3 Drink Minimum.
Yeah.
He was involved with that. Frank has been around as a producer, and now Frank is just doing his own thing. So also played some college ball, am I right? A little college baseball?
College and semi-pro, yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll talk about that a little bit, but right now we're going to get into a little bit of movie and sports talk. So last time we were here, we had a game where we predicted the opening numbers of movie box offices, and now that come to fruition. And let's see how close it was between me, Kevin, and Al Martin.
Right.
So the first movie was what, Kevin?
First film, The Infiltrator, starring Bryan Cranston, critically acclaimed.
Okay, now
What was your number, Jeffrey Paul?
okay, I predicted big box office for this.
Uh-huh.
I thought it would open up at around 30 million.
And I said 20. Let me write
You
this down.
said 22.
Let's see how wrong we are.
You said 22, and Al said 18.
Al Martin is the winner. This opened up to an absolute shit show. Grand total? You're fucking around here, are you? Okay. Or is $6 million.
6?
Hold it. How awful was my prediction? 30
That's what
million.
I said.
I thought this was going to be.
Wait, what did you say again?
I thought around 30 million.
Well, you're going against Star Trek and Ghostbusters.
No,
and
this
But
is 2 weeks ago
I thought
it
this
opened.
was.
Oh, this is 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Now, I
that's
thought
a
this
big-
was going to be a sleeper. I thought this
Right.
was going. I thought this had the story. I thought it had drugs. It had the guy from Breaking Bad. It had great buzz leading into it. And I thought this was going to be really the big sleeper hit of the summer.
How were the reviews on it?
Good. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Good. It'll probably be noted during Oscar time that it's like, oh wow, this was good. I think it's a poor release time. They probably should have tried this out in September and October when their shit films are tried it out.
This will probably stick around, though, for a few weeks, making 5 to 10 every week.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
That's fair. If you're gonna go see the big ones, you're
I
gonna
know
see
what's
that.
going to happen with this movie.
What's that?
When people see it and it gets released on DVD and pay-per-view, that's when they'll make their money on it. But for box office, it did shit.
I bet the budget wasn't much more than
No, it
50
wasn't.
million,
I
right?
I had it at home. It was around 30 or 40 million, I think, around.
Oh, it's going to kill.
Yeah.
It's going to...
I mean,
Don't make
well,
money.
here's the problem. When you have a movie come out, 1 week, the second week is about always 50% fall off.
Right.
So it's going to need a lot of help to get to that 30-ish million, if indeed that is the budget.
Okay.
It might get even. Okay.
What
number
was the
2.
second movie?
The widely... Actually, I can't say widely panned because it wasn't. To much of my surprise. Female Ghostbusters. I have no desire to see it. I never will see it because it looks like pure fucking horse shit.
I don't know. What do you think, Frank? Would you see it? Did you see it?
I did not see it. My son wants to see it. I
the
have
original one.
no
Fair.
interest.
Right.
The trailers were terrible.
Right.
The stupid song that Fall Out Boy just put a nail in the coffin for me. Trying to remake that classic Ghostbusters theme song, I have zero interest. They keep on remaking shit.
The classic Ghostbusters theme song, is plagiarized.
Yes.
It's really,
No.
yeah.
Ray Parker Jr. was on Adam Carolla last week talking.
Yeah.
Ah.
You knew it the second it came out because I'm that old. But it really is. I have a new drug. I want a new drug by Huey Lewis.
Who sued?
Really?
And they wound up losing, and it's the exact same song.
I saw that as a 7-year-old boy in the theater. Oh, the days yore.
Okay.
Jeffrey Paul, what was your number for Ghostbusters?
I thought it would open up to a pretty good number. I said 30. Again, I'm like an autistic child. I just say the same numbers over and over again.
I said 39 if you're
You
from Long Island.
did say 39, and Al Martin said 12.
Al Martin is the big loser on this one. Yours truly is the big winner. Actual retail price, $46 million.
Wow.
7
Absolutely.
off.
Wow.
Would you say, Jeff, 30 what?
I said 30.
30 again. That's right.
Yeah, I just stick to the same numbers. I just know the numbers I know.
All right.
Okay, so that was that. I don't know. I have a little desire to see it now.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
I think, and people justify the review by saying, it's not that bad. When you're saying it's not that bad, it's also not that good.
But the other thing is, what else is there to see? I mean, I've been.
I talked about that last week. How this has been probably the worst summer slate I've ever seen. It is absolutely terrible. But I actually saw a couple of things this weekend. I'll talk about them in a few moments.
Okay.
Let's go next to what just came out last weekend, Ice Age 4. Jeffrey Paul, what was your number?
My number was 35.
35. I thought this was going to be an absolute fucking smoke show. Kid movies never miss.
You went big. You went
Except
78.
this one whiffed.
Wait, stop.
Go ahead. Al Martin had it at.
You had 78.
Yeah, I did. You had.
Kevin had 78. Al had 45. I had 35. I didn't think. I said the public didn't need another Ice Age, especially Ice Age 4. I topped out after 2.
Jeffrey Paul is on the board with the win finally.
There we go.
Ding, ding,
Bombed
ding,
at
There we go.
$21 million for a kids film.
I told you.
Bombed. I thought after Finding Dory had its course, the Pets film would fall off. Boy, I didn't think it'd fall off. I thought it'd be a huge. The other three have made no less than $160 million. I said this is an easy layup.
This is the time though for all these kids movies.
Exactly.
BFG is still out.
Tanked.
Dory's still out.
Yep.
Life of Pets was fantastic. I saw it with my son.
Right.
So when you've got all these
That
different
could be the
options,
sleeper.
Ghostbusters, I'm sure kids want to see that too. So many options. It's hard. Squeeze another Ice Age in there.
You know what? I exactly. I'm agreeing with Frank on that one. That was exactly my thing. I was like, it's like no one. There's no buzz. I'm using an old term. There's no water cooler talk about Ice Age. Any Ice Age. No.
And it's not for adults at all. Like Life of Pets,
terrible.
adults will enjoy.
Yeah.
Like Inside Out, so many of these great movies that Pixar did, any adult can enjoy as much as the kids. Ice Age, no, it's just
I watched.
terrible.
I don't like any actually of the DreamWorks ones. I don't know.
Is that
why.
Madagascar too?
Yeah, all that shit.
they're all
Shrek
awful.
hated that. No, and you're right. I watched the first Ice Age.
I
and
like
this
the
is dog
second
shit.
Shrek.
Didn't like it. Didn't dig it. Next, and I saw this, Star Trek Beyond.
Faggot.
All right. I'm not going to conventions, asshole.
That we know of.
I would tell you I would. I have nothing to lose but telling you. Hearing your
you
judging,
kidding me?
nothing.
Those are the brony
Yeah.
conventions.
I'm going to make fun of him no matter
They're
what.
actually making. I read this too, a My Little Pony movie. So those brony fucks are gonna come back. I'm like, oh boy. Jeffrey Paul, what was your number for Star Trek?
Mine,
Beyond?
I had the middle number here. I said 70.
Okay.
You went a little bit lower at 62, and Al Martin was really predicting big time numbers at 80.
Well, this is why this is my game. The number coming in is 60 million, 59.6.
You were almost right on the number.
I know.
Perfect.
So it looks like I had 2 wins. You had 1.
And Al had 1.
Right. Yep. There you go.
That was interesting.
Now, write this down. Here we go. The next 5 coming out. We've got
Okay, so
number 1 film. This comes out this Wednesday. It's called Nerve. Emma Roberts plays. It's like an online, kind of truth or dare, and then of course the consequences turn deadly.
who's directing it?
So
I don't know. Nobody.
Okay.
I don't have budget numbers. They were not yet out last night when I did the research for this.
Nerve. All right, so let's start with Frank.
Frank,
what
Pellegrino.
Is this movie opening to?
14.
Okay, Jeffrey Paul.
I don't have any faith in this.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 10.
Whoa.
I went 11, so this is gonna be gonna be like the $1, $2 when the Price is Right. Nerve. Okay. Next film.
I don't even think this is a real movie.
Okay.
I saw a trailer. It looked okay.
She's Emma Roberts is carrying a movie. She's the star.
That's why it's these Hollywood horror films. You don't need a fucking major star for a horror. These paranormal ones, they put
I didn't know it was a
fucking
horror
George in there that makes $20 million.
Excuse me.
That's a compliment.
Thank you.
Or is it? Did you see Paranormal 4? Gross. Bad Mom, starring Mila Kunis and I think Christina Applegate.
Oh, I know this one. Bad Moms. I think this is going to be the that brides. What are those bridesmaids?
Bridesmaids?
I think they'd be the bridesmaids. I'm going to say this movie is opening at, I'm going to say 35.
Okay. Frank
I
Pellegrino?
was thinking similar. I'm going to go a little bit lower because that's the same weekend Suicide Squad comes out?
Nope. That's next week.
Can you? Okay. All right. I'm going to say 40.
I think this is not going to be that good. I said 22.
Ooh.
I do not have much faith.
Yeah, Frank
in
and I are a little bit more on board with this movie. You're not. I'm going to be interested to see what that's going to be like in 2 weeks from
Don't
now.
hold your breath. Why? Because this next one's going to torch everything. This film is for everybody. Jason Bourne.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking
Paul
for I want to
Greengrass
see that.
fronting yet again. Matt Damon back again. Looks pretty good.
All right, let's go with Frank.
Frank Tarantino.
I'm going to say.
Frank Pellegrino, excuse me.
I don't. I think this is going to be a very, very diluted week with some Ghostbusters people still going to see that and all the other kids movies. I'm going to say 48.
48, okay. Jeffrey Paul.
Let's see. Okay, thank you. I'm going to go with. Can I go? I don't want to. I'm not picking the same amount as Frank. I'm going to go a little higher than Frank. I'm going to go 50.
Oh, man.
You both are very wrong. It's going to blow the doors off the competition. 65 is the number from yours truly.
Okay.
It's going to crush. Reviews are good. All the originals are back in place. I think the Ghostbusters crowd has either seen it already and it doesn't have enough legs.
Now, did Bourne ever open with 60 million?
Good question. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it's going to bank on its past history from the first one and the third one, which Paul Greengrass directed. And I think it's going to be enough to wash the taste of that last one with Jeremy Renner out of everyone's mouth. I think it's going to kick ass. It looks good. I say 65. I'm going high. Next on the page, we've got another kid film. Kevin Spacey is starring as the voice of an animated cat in 9 Lives.
Oh, this shit. Oh, my God. I saw the trailer for this and wanted to throw up.
Frank Pellegrino has an opinion. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I think that Kevin Spacey wanted a nice paycheck and had a favor to do for the studio. He's going to do this with Christopher Walken, and they're going to do something great in the next 2 years probably afterwards.
I'm right on board with Frank on this. So what, Frank? What's your number?
Frank?
I'm going to say 22.
Ooh. I'm going to go actually lower. I'm going 17. I really think this is going to be dog shit.
I know it's going to be dog shit. I said 18.
See, I think if Ice Age 5 made 21 with zero buzz, this at least has some star power, I think.
I think
okay, good, because a lot of little kids know Christopher
less?
Walken and Kevin Spacey.
It has a built-in audience with Ice Age, hence why it made more. This has zero buzz. I haven't seen
I'd be
shit.
interested to see which one opens
What
better.
6-year-old wants to say, I got
My
to see...
son freaked out when he
He
saw
has to
this
see
trailer.
the new Christopher Walken voiced movie.
He was talking about the trailer. He's like, oh, look what the cat does. Look what the cat does. And I'm looking at him like, oh, my God.
How old is your son?
He's 5.
Yeah, he's a
I don't know
pretty
if you know
sharp
better
kid.
yet. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
A couple more years. And I think probably the crown jewel of August, as previously alluded to by Frank, the DC attempt at the Avengers Suicide Squad. Also noted, they had to do many reshoots because of the popularity of one film starring Ryan Reynolds, which came out in February, Deadpool.
Okay, who's in Suicide Squad? I just want to make sure.
It's a very good cast. I mean, on paper.
Is this the one with the chick from Wolf of Wall
Yes.
Street?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
I know
she's
that.
That's all you need.
Margot Robbie, who's delightful. You got Will Smith. You have Jared Leto trying to fill the role as the Joker. We all said the same thing when Heath Ledger was announced. So, and then he goes out and kills it in The Dark Knight. So, you know what? I'll give him his due. Jeffrey Paul, what do you think Suicide Squad is going to open to?
It's going to be pretty big. I'm going to go. Let's go 65.
Okay, 65.
I think it's going to be bigger than that. I'm going to say 96.
Wow.
Yeah.
Frank really throwing out a big matzo ball there.
And I'm going to go right in the middle and say 81. I think this is going to have Sun Pop, not near as much as anything done by Marvel. I think they will be curious. I'm dying to, again, this is, by the way, we're taping this on Monday the 25th, so we have not seen very few, if any, reviews. So it's not like we can try and base this off of Rotten Tomatoes.
Just a couple of trailers.
Right.
Is really. And the star power and what the summer's been so far. I think the summer has been one of the most disappointing I can remember.
I think
Words right out of my mouth, huh?
think Suicide Squad's going to bring in with the cast and the promotion. I mean, you got Will Smith. He's going to be on every single talk show. Margot Robbie's going to be on every talk show.
Right.
There's so much star power on this film that I think alone that's going to generate by itself. Plus the fact that it's the Joker. He's back again. You know, I think that's...
People will be curious to see what Leto does with this. I agree.
Yeah, I'm not big cartoon, like, you know, comic book guy, but I'm curious with this one too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so we will know the results of this in 2 weeks, and tune in for that. And let's keep the show moving a little bit.
Shall we?
Okay, so we got a new game here.
Oh.
Okay, what this game is about is I'm going to give one of my favorite things in movies is awful movie names. Okay.
These are not B movies or some shit. Okay.
These are major stars. Okay, these are big time movies. I have 6 movie names here that I just think are some of the all time worst. I'm gonna give you the name of them, and you're gonna tell me who played it and what movie they're from. Okay, starting with number 6. Character's name: Dickie Greenleaf. Dickie
I know this.
Greenleaf. Who was Dickie Greenleaf and what movie was it? Major stars. But just how fucking awful is the name?
So the name is bad, but the film could be good or awful.
In my opinion, I thought it's a really good movie.
Dickie Greenleaf.
But like, you know, and when I tell you, you'll understand. But they just use such a trite name, you know, to express like someone who's like from an upper echelon upbringing. So let's name him Dickie Greenleaf.
I bet there are a few Dickie Greenleafs on Staten Island there, Jeff.
I think you're fucking Dickie Greenleaf.
Beautiful retort.
Yeah, I think it's New York or Boston based, I'm guessing.
You know what my guess was? My first thing that came to my mind, so it's funny you say that, Departed.
Me too.
Was it really?
Yeah, I was thinking that or Black Mass.
Well, you're both wrong, but Frank is onto something here because Dickie Greenleaf's father, Mr. Greenleaf, is out of Boston, I believe. He's from Massachusetts area. He's a New Englander. And he sends a character down to Italy to kind of get his son Dickie Greenleaf to come back.
Oh, shit. All right, so it's mafia based.
It's not
Porky
mafia based.
Romano.
No.
Oh, that's a good guess.
Oh, what a shit movie that was. I saw it.
I'm not surprised.
And that was like one of the things you watched on Netflix. It's I'm up in Pennsylvania. I have nothing going
25,000 films in the library of Netflix he's watching.
That's what I want to watch a comedy.
Keep it simplistic, attaboy. All right, going to Italy to get his son.
Right, and then there's a lot of double. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I mean,
The Italian Job.
No, I'll give you guys a clue.
Please.
You want the movie or you want the actor?
Oh, what do you want? I'll go with you.
I'll go actor.
Okay.
The actor was Jude Law.
Oh, fuck.
Jude Law played Dickie Greenleaf.
Well,
and there's
the talented Mr. Ripley.
There you go.
Oh god, that's a piece of shit.
No, it was not. No, see, this show works.
I saw in the theater. I was like, this is garbage.
This show works better when
see
Kevin and I
that?
disagree.
I
but
did not.
It's
That
a
was
fucking
before I got
great
huge into
movie.
movies. That was like what, 95, 96?
2000. Like
No,
2001.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Matt Damon was in it, right?
Matt Damon,
Gwyneth
Glenn Paltrow, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's a good movie, man. Kevin's wrong as usual. Okay,
What that open with?
number 5.
Please.
Number 5, Knox Overstreet.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna guess it's like Triple X.
No, it's not.
And this is a main character.
Main character
All right.
of a very famous movie. I think this movie came out in the 90s.
With a name like that, you would. This is not my guess. With a name like that, you'd say that's like the 3rd or 4th bouncer in Roadhouse, but it's not.
It is not.
In the
What was-
90s, Knox, what is it?
Knox Overstreet.
Oh, that's so fucking waspy.
Knox Overstreet, though. It's
Knox Overstreet.
90s.
90s.
I was thinking like a badass kind of name. It's not a.
No, it wasn't as badass as Swayze in Roadhouse. Dalton. It wasn't that. No, this is not.
So you're saying Waspy?
Yeah, this is Knox Overstreet. I'm Knox Overstreet.
That sounds like a prank call name.
But I'm 90s, not me.
What do you think, Kevin?
God damn it, anyway.
We don't know. Okay, let me.
This is a main character, though. One of the main characters.
Pretty main character. Yeah. Very big movie for its time.
Give another hint.
The star of the movie was Robin Williams.
Patch Adams?
Wrong.
That's a good guess.
No, it's not.
Jack?
No.
Wasn't Jack?
In fact, our guest from last week co-wrote Jack. Well, who's supposed to be?
I know.
Yeah, but no. Think about a movie. I'm pretty sure it was Robin Williams. I'll give you the movie. I'll just give you the whole thing. The movie was Dead Poet Society.
Yes.
And he played the teacher in it.
Yeah.
Okay, and the actor's name
My
was
wife
Josh
loved it.
Charles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it?
Josh Charles. Okay, this one. What can I say about this movie? This movie is it's awful on so many different levels. But starting with the name, you'll want to blow your brains out. This is an awful name. The character's name is Marion Cobretti.
Oh, fucking Cobra.
There we go.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
What was the tagline? What was the tagline?
Something on the...
You're the disease,
and
I'm the cure.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
He comes in like, he's a loner. His only pal is his gun.
I'm
Marion
dated on
Cobretti.
this. How old are you, Kevin?
I'll be 40 November.
Oh, my God. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I
All
thought you were
right,
my
Captain.
age, honestly.
What are
How old are you?
I'm 31. Just turned
You
31.
just look older. All right.
Yeah, thanks.
Eat a dick, Frank.
Yeah, it's been
from Jeff Paul.
Listen,
That's exactly what that was.
Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. I was going on the offensive right there. I didn't want this coming back at me. Why do you think I'm wearing a fucking hat?
And here you go shitting on him.
Unbelievable.
Unwarranted.
All right.
You're looking at a spot now, dick.
Three more. Listen to the names get worse as they go on. Okay, the third this name here, Spurgeon Tanner.
I've heard this.
Spurgeon.
Spurgeon Tanner.
You love these
I've heard
Boston
this
films.
one.
I'm trying to think of Spurgeon.
What decade is this?
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna say maybe 2000s, late 90s. This was when remember there was like a whole bunch of these like shitty, like an asteroid is heading for the Earth type of thing.
Would this be Armageddon?
No, it would not be
And
Armageddon.
the other one is easy.
Would this
What's
be
the other one?
Deep Impact?
You got it.
Yeah.
And remember
Never saw Deep
that was
Impact.
Robert Duvall's character, Sturgeon Tanner.
He's named after a fucking fish?
Yes,
That's terrible.
Spurgeon
The
Tanner.
best people are named after fish.
Two more.
Okay, such as...
Lance Bass. No,
I mean, all right.
Okay,
it's the first one that came to mind.
Kevin, you don't get this one.
Oh, here we go.
I'm really gonna take this pen and stick it in your neck. All right,
good.
because I'm really expecting you. I'm a very violent guy. I'm expecting you to get this. I talk about this often. I've even may have spoken about this on stage. Character's name, Castor Troy.
Oh, Face Off.
Exactly. You did me proud, Nicolas Cage. How awful was that?
I thought he was going to use like stab in the neck, Joe Pesci type movie, you know?
You muttering, stuttering prick, yeah. Okay, last one. Save the best for last. You ready to get douche chills? Listen to how bad this name is.
Jeffrey Paul. Oh, sorry.
Two first names?
Hey, is it Jeffrey or Paul? I don't know. We'll call them both. Oh. Go ahead.
What was that? What were you just doing?
Let's hear it.
No, was that like?
Parents in Staten Island.
No, what was that? What was that impression of? What was that supposed to be an accent
Staten
of?
Island.
That was a confused dice.
Yeah. True.
Was that? I didn't know. Was that supposed to be nice?
No.
He did the oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you?
Because everyone goes Staten Island,
Did he
oh.
throw in an O?
I did.
He
Yeah,
did throw
yeah,
in
I
an
did.
O.
I did.
Yeah, that's what you threw me
I
off.
think
Kevin.
from Staten Island.
Yeah.
Ayo.
No,
Go ahead.
that was good.
You could do a Christopher Walken impression, but if you do the O at the end, it's a dice impression.
I could.
Okay, get into the worst movie name of all time. Cole Trickle.
Oh, fucking Days of Thunder.
Wow.
He's good.
Right, nailed it. Tom Cruise.
God.
Yeah, really.
Overrated film, by the way.
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful. All right. So that's our movie talk and games for now. I had an interesting weekend.
Do tell.
Okay. I little humble brag, as Kevin would say.
Ding.
Anytime you have something good going on and you mention it, Kevin has to pull you on
it's
it.
the weights delivered.
Okay.
Is to try and just kind of, I was hanging out with so and so. Just trying to pass up and then putting that inflection on it. He's gonna be like, Frank, I was hanging out with Lenny Dykstra the other day. And we were just bullshitting about how that. He's like, I was with Howard Johnson.
Way to blow the whole thing. Yes. I've been on the road for a couple of weeks.
He means a hotel chain, guys.
This weekend, I was up in Cherry Valley, and during the day, I would go down to Cooperstown. It was induction weekend. There were 50,000 people in this small little town that usually holds about 3,000 people. Mm-hmm. So it was packed. Tom Borowski, who we had on the show about a month ago, with Lenny Dykstra, we met them up there. It was great, and Lenny brought to dinner Howard Johnson and a whole barrage of people, Jesse Orozco and people. But I got to hanging out and went out to dinner with Howard Johnson 2 nights in a row, and then I got an interview with him. So what we're going to do now, we're going to play this interview with Howard Johnson, and then we'll use that as a springboard to kind of talk a little bit about the Hall of Fame and guys who are eligible for next year, and see if what's up. Okay. So George, are you ready to play that interview?
Yeah.
All right, okay. Jeffrey Paul. There we go. And we had it there for a second, and okay. No, but it was like I said, it was a very cool weekend. Hojo couldn't have been any more cordial and any more nicer. Of course, I'm throwing in a couple of movie questions in there.
All right.
And it
was Sid Fernandez there?
Sid Fernandez was not there.
Well, that's a
the most expensive team money can buy. Okay.
Well, the '92 team.
What are you doing, George?
I can see.
It's called fucking up our mojo.
Phone. It's your phone. It's your phone.
Oh, it's my phone.
If Sid Fernandez was there, he would need a separate hotel for his ass to stay in.
Is he still alive?
If he is, it's by the grace of modern medicine, that's for sure.
We got it going now?
Yeah, I'm going to shut everybody down.
Okay, and we're about to... All right, this is Jeffrey Paul in Cooperstown, New York. I'm with Howard Johnson from the '86 Mets. Hello, Howard.
Jeffrey, how you doing, man?
I'm fine. Okay, this game is called 5 Questions with Jeffrey Paul. And the first question, did you find there was more pressure on you in 1987 to repeat as champions, or on the '92 team, which was considered the most expensive team money can buy?
Well, the '92 team, I can see that's a good question. I think it's probably more pressure on the '92 team, only because '86 we did win. In '87, I think it's hard. People recognize that it's hard to repeat again. But when a team like retools and they put players together like they did '92, and the team doesn't win, then I think that creates its own monster, and that's kind of what happened.
Pitcher that you feared the most getting in the batter's box against?
Well, I wasn't afraid of anybody, but there were guys that certainly I didn't look forward to facing, and it really isn't the guys that you might think. Like I enjoyed facing Nolan Ryan. I enjoyed facing the guys that threw hard. It was the left-handers that gave me trouble, that could change speeds real well. Tom Browning was the one that comes to mind. The guy gave me a lot of problems with Cincinnati. Didn't throw overly hard or anything, but a little short arm, good little four-seamer, and a good changeup. And it took me a while to finally kind of figure him out, but I finally figured him out a little bit. But he was good. He was tough on me.
Okay, pitcher that you owned.
There's a few guys that I owned, but I'd say Todd Worrell with St. Louis was a guy that I always had success against. Numbers-wise, I don't know what they ended up being, but maybe 6 for 12 or something like that, 500 against a guy like that. But with damage, home runs and driving in runs. So those are the kind of guys that I look at like saying, okay, when they come in the game, I feel good. I feel good about the at bat. Not necessarily am I confident or over cocky about it, but I felt good about going into the at bat.
Okay, favorite baseball movie?
Well, that's a tough one. Favorite baseball movie is probably either Major League, the first one. The Natural is one of my favorites. Those are probably my 2 favorite movies.
Okay, and would you ever wear a shirt that says chimichangas and tacos?
Chimichangas and tacos? I have to know what those are. I know what a taco is. I don't know what a chimichanga is. So if I know what it is, I'd wear it. But yeah, no, I like Mexican food. I would do that.
Great answer. Thank you very much, man. Awesome.
Well, Jeffrey, Paul, I tell you
All right,
what, we need to submit that to the broadcast Hall of Fame thing right there. Jesus Christ, chimichangas are nachos.
How come you didn't ask him the
Tacos.
important things like who did the most coke
Right.
in '86?
We
It's
had-
like, oh, Sid Fernandez did a line off of.
Who fucked whose wife on the plane ride back from?
We
Fucking,
had that already with Dykstra.
I want to hear Howard Johnson's. I mean,
It's probably very different.
they all
definitely
they all
different,
wife
right?
swapped. I read that one book they had about the whole
That was
season.
the Yankees.
No, it was not. It was 86 Mets. That whole fucking thing.
Wife swapping? No,
Yeah,
remember
the wife swapping and shit.
Fritz Peterson, Mike Keck.
I know that too, but they were fucking banging on the plane.
All right, so to keep in.
Hey, since you're in the Hall of Fame, here's a question for you.
Go.
What color skirt did Mike Piazza wear when getting inducted? Couldn't make sure about that. Was he wearing what kind of eyeliner or lip shadow, all that stuff? What color?
Poor Piazza.
Really, his wife is smoking hot.
You mean his beard?
He's not a beard. He has kids. Man.
You mean his beard? When you say
He's a cool dude. Wait, what we got?
Back
going
knee
on
is a natural thing that happens
Right.
to everybody in their mid-30s.
Did he offer to pose shirtless for you in the middle of the street in Cooperstown?
Say again?
Did he offer to pose shirtless for you in the middle of the street?
I didn't get a chance to meet him, man. He was him and Griffey were the man of the hour that weekend.
First question for me for Ken Griffey Jr. if I was there. Ready? By the way, how fucking sick was that baseball game for Nintendo 64, right?
That was the best.
Right, or was
baseball
it 64
game.
or was it or the Super Nintendo?
Super Nintendo.
Dude, that game was the tits.
Brought in the
That's
home
it.
run derby.
I loved
video games.
Oh god, yeah. I loved as a Yankee fan. He fucking killed him and Jay Buhner. Edgar Martinez fucking raped the Yankees without fail.
Which leads me to this segue here. Okay, I thought this was a good class going in. I thought Griffey and
Absolutely.
Piazza, both iconic, both took very separate routes, different routes to get to the Hall of Fame.
One drove, one walked. Zing.
This is why your stand-up is where it is right now. Okay. Griffey, good one. Griffey, number one overall pick. Piazza, 30th round, drafted as a favor to the father, right, from Lasorda. Both wind up in the Hall of Fame going in together. I thought that was pretty interesting. But for next year, this is who are the big names that are eligible. Some are first-timers, and a couple are still, just hanging around there. Tell me if you think they're going in. This guy's a first-time eligible.
Well, hold on. You have to also remember this, too, that there are guys still on the ballot who are, I don't know where they are in percentages of
Yeah,
making
I'm
it.
curious about that, too.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. I
Fire away.
got 5 names here. Tell me if you think they're going in. First 3, this is their first time eligible.
Okay.
Vladimir Guerrero.
He should. Actually, yeah, he's going in because he has never had steroid allegations attached
That's
to him.
right. Is he your first ballot?
No, he's not.
I think he dropped too hard,
Yeah.
too fast in the 2008, 2006.
Interesting voice
2007.
crack.
I'm trying to remember the years.
Orioles, right? Was that what you were talking about?
When he was with the Angels.
Angels.
When he was
okay.
with the Angels, I think he dropped off too hard. But before that, I think he's got an amazing 10-year span that is Hall of Fame worthy. I don't think he's going in.
He's going in. Not first ballot, but he's going in.
This is who I compare him to. Who guy went in about 2 years ago. Remember Andre Dawson?
Yep, the Hawks.
Yeah.
Okay. Not only were they both great hitters, I mean, and different. Vlad wasn't a disciplined hitter, but he can cover the plate.
He was one of the best bad ball hitters I've
Exactly.
ever fucking seen.
But he also had a cannon.
He had a hose.
as an outfielder, just like Dawson did. So, and before his back went on him, he was a sick outfielder. I think he does get in eventually.
Not first ballot, though.
Then there better be a couple of leftovers. Otherwise, you're going to have a year where they had nobody and stores actually closed up in that town.
Well,
almost
what's
went
his
bankrupt.
fucking face from the Angels made it 2 years ago? Oh, come on. Was it Don Sutton?
Tim Salmon. There's
Don
a fish.
Sutton
Is it Don?
is in the Hall of Fame.
That's all right.
But that was
He-
years ago. But
Not long ago, but he got in on the fucking race because it was a lame year.
like 90s.
No.
What are
I'm
you
not
talking
that's-
about?
I'm thinking of it.
Don Sutton.
No. Or was it?
Don Sutton.
The Angels?
There was an Angel pitcher I know. He was on the Angels.
Don Sutton went in as a
Chuck
Dodger.
Finley?
No, he didn't go in
No,
yet.
why-
You know what? Never
why'd
mind. It
your
wasn't
voice go
Don.
up there?
No, here it is. I think was it Burt Blyleven? Then I guess.
Burt Blyleven did.
He's not
yeah.
fucking. He should not be in the Hall of fucking
200
Fame.
288 wins.
So
3,000
what? Andy Pettis
strikeouts.
is close. And if he should get in, and I'm not saying Andy Pettis should get in.
I think does he have a World Series? I think Blyleven has a World Series.
Does he with the Twins?
Maybe Twins and one with the Pirates. Was he with the 79 Pirates?
I don't think. I don't know. I don't know about the Pirates. The Twins he has.
Okay. All right, another guy who's available, eligible, first time, Maglio Ordonez.
No.
Okay, I don't think
Very,
so.
very good, but not.
He was good, man. He was a solid.
Yeah,
player.
you just said it. He's very good. He's solid. He's not a
Few good years with the White Sox, and then went to the Tigers and just fell apart.
Know who he is? He's like a Harold Baines type of player.
without the speed
and without the longevity. Harold Baines hung around forever. This guy, I don't think he's getting in, but I thought he was good, man. I think he was more underrated than people think. Edgar Renteria.
No.
I think
think about it. Bill Mazeroski's in. And look at, he don't have great impressive numbers.
He has one moment that'll always stand in baseball history. What does Edgar Reed
game winning hit in the
97?
in the World Series. Mullins.
But it wasn't like
Indians.
a Mazeroski home run against the Yankees.
It was just dramatic.
I think Maglio's going to drop off next year.
This is Maglio's first year.
Right. I don't think he's going to make it a second year.
You think he's going to have
No,
I think he sticks around a little bit.
What do you have to not make the ballot the next year? Like, what's the
5%? Is it 5%?
I think it's 5%.
I'll buy that. 5%? It could be.
Yeah.
Oh, another guy. These other guys are also eligible. What do you think about Tim Raines?
Oh, man,
He's close.
he
He's
deserves to be
really
in.
close.
When you think about best leadoff hitters of all time,
Ricky Henderson, number one, without a question.
Who do you think number two?
It's Tim.
I could put Tim Raines at 2.
That's right.
But you know what we're not doing, though? We're not being fair with all the super old-time guys, like the 30s.
We're talking the modern era of baseball.
Fine.
If you
Tim
go back
Raines-
to the 70s, who comes to mind? You think of Tim, you think of Ricky Henderson, you think of Vince Coleman back in the day.
Those are more. That's 80s. We're talking 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Up to
Mickey
maybe
Rivers
early
in the 70s.
2000s.
But yeah, you think the last 30 years, Tim Raines is number 2.
But they were great. They were
Whoa,
great
hold on a minute.
combinations
This
of
guy-
power and speed.
This guy led off for a while, too. And I could say Ichiro Suzuki.
Hall of Famer.
I know
he's still
that.
playing, but he's without a doubt.
Is he better than Tim
ballot.
Raines? I'm sorry. Is he better than Tim Raines? The answer is
Yes. Not even close.
You know who deserved more discussion was Kenny Lofton. He deserves more.
I got to see the numbers. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think he's going to definitely get a
didn't do it long enough. Like when he dropped fast.
Yeah.
Okay, but those
late 90s Cleveland teams.
But he had a couple of years with Atlanta and Cleveland. Him and Marcus
and the Yankees
Grissom.
too.
Yeah.
Marquise Grissom.
Right.
Wow.
And what's Marquise Grissom most known for? Dropping the ball in Game 5 in the '96 World Series. Yankees won 1-0. Andy Pettit versus John Smoltz.
Did you know that, Frank?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's
okay.
I'm not a real fan, Jeff Ball.
I'm a Met fan. Okay, how about this guy? This is one of my favorite players, Edgar Martinez.
Absolutely should be considered. I don't know if he's going to get in. He fucking raked. Look, and here's my point. Because everyone's on David Ortiz's dick now because it's his last year. Mm-hmm. Everyone loves him. Let's also not forget.
I don't love him.
I respect him. He's not a piece of shit like Manny was. I was a Yankee fan. I could deal with him.
I like Manny better than I like Ortiz.
Fucking cancer, Manny.
We're getting George's Latino up here on this. He heard Manny. He heard Big Papi. Well, he's like, oh no, you didn't.
David Ortiz has rings and he did kill in the postseason. So again, give him that. Edgar Martinez, again, the DH is so tough.
You want to get me going here? Fuck Big Papi. He's a lying fucking asshole.
He's a steroid.
He's a cheat.
Yeah, I mean Manny at least owned up to it, man. I like Manny much better. He was a cheater. He was a hypocrite.
Manny was a bitch.
Everyone like really gets all over Bonds and Clemens. They never tested positive for steroids. Fucking Ortiz did.
You know what? If there's even a discussion about Ortiz getting into the Hall of Fame someday, Edgar has to be in. Molitor got in, who's primarily a DH. Edgar deserves to be in there right next to him.
And Rafael Palmeiro.
Thank you. I was just about to go. If you're going
steroids.
I know that.
But so is Ortiz.
Oh, no. I'm saying Ortiz does not even deserve to be in the conversation.
But if Ortiz gets in, because he gets away with like murder, it seems like. He can do all this shit and no one calls him on it. If he goes into the Hall of Fame, you better let Bonds in, you better let Clemens in, you better let Rafael Palmeiro in. 100%.
Right.
Another guy who's also
Edgar Martinez, you say yes or no?
Me?
Yeah.
100% yes.
Yeah.
Because think about Fiat hitters.
Killed us.
Killed everybody. He was a great
Excellent.
hitter. Okay. And the other guy who's up, who I love, I think should be in the Hall of Fame, Jeff Bagwell.
Steroids again.
But it was just rumor. Wasn't it just one rumor that was started with nothing else? I love Bagwell.
I think he's great.
But I'm so anti-steroid.
I'm thinking, who the fuck else? Caminiti was guaranteed steroids. He died because of.
He wrote a book about it.
I know, yeah.
He died.
Caminiti. Bagwell, boy.
Look at his numbers.
If Biggio's in for fucking just 3,000, I mean, what Bagwell had 500 home runs, right?
Well,
449.
also,
Really?
Bagwell led the league in hits for like 8 years in a row.
Oh, he was a maniac.
MVP,
No one's gonna-
Rookie of the Year.
Never won
Boy, oh,
MVP.
boy.
He didn't win MVP in
Never-
'96.
Never won MVP. He led the league in doubles. He was a catcher. He was
how long?
Bagwell?
Though? He was first base primarily for how many fucking years? I mean, I didn't know. Was he catch for like what, 2 years?
Wait, I'm sorry. We're talking Biggio or Bagwell right now?
Biggio.
Bagwell. Oh,
I'm talking Biggio.
Oh, that's why I'm confused.
I'm like Biggio.
Bagwell
second
won an
baseman.
MVP.
yeah, that's who I
I
was.
was gonna say, wait.
Biggio, I thought we were talking about Biggio because you said like, oh, should he really be in the
He
Hall
was
of
the
Fame?
second baseman primarily. He caught in the
He's in the
first
Hall.
few years.
He's in the Hall of Fame. Listen,
3,000.
he never led the league in hitting. He never led the league in stolen bases. But 3,000 hits. So think about it. You play 20 years in baseball.
From Seton Hall too, by
Okay,
the way.
right. You have to get about 150 hits a year. That's pretty consistent. You know,
Sure.
That's like a Palmero or Blyleven, same type of thing, where they just, they're consistently very good. Not many years are great by them, but always very good, and the stats are there in the end.
Well, Palmero, if you look at those numbers, over 500 home runs,
Never
over
led the
3,000
league.
hits.
over
In anything.
3,000 hits,
That
1,500
right there
RBIs.
alone should get you in. 3,500 are locks in my book.
But because he waved his finger in front of Congress, he will always be ostracized
I
by
know.
that. Why isn't Bonds in?
Because he's an asshole and he lied and he did the whole
So-
thing. I know. Listen,
so
here's
the-
the
How
real
about
debate to me-
why not Ty Cobb?
because he hated black people.
But he's in.
He didn't cheat to fucking for that. He's a
There
piece
also
of
wasn't
shit.
the internet back then, though,
All right.
either.
All right, so you said cheating. Gaylord Perry, who also
Spitter. I know.
loved, admitted, said it, wrote it down. He doctored the ball. He cheated. He's in, and I saw him. He's in that stupid fucking Hall of Fame parade. Okay, where he's sitting there with his dumb mustache in the back of a pickup truck, and people are waving, and he's waving back to
You
them.
mean you didn't get a 5-minute interview with Gaylord Perry as well?
I don't want a 5-minute interview with Gaylord Perry, but if he would have been available,
So
I would
this
take
is
it.
the thing. Here's what's going to happen.
Gaylord, would you wear a shirt that says "I spit, don't swallow"?
Gaylord, would you work about tacos and enchiladas too? Hard-hitting questions there, Barbara Walters. I would say
wow.
this. I would say the first guy that's going to break that thing should be Bonds, should be getting in. The real question to ask is in
What, Barbara Walters?
6. Good try. 6 years when A-Rod's up. There is your big question to ask because there's no doubt in anyone's mind. Forget steroids. He's moonwalking in the Hall of Fame.
You think A-Rod is?
No, I'm saying without the steroids.
Oh, yeah.
Moonwalking fucking first ballot in that Hall of Fame.
Right. Besides some stupid, drama here and there, him being shirtless in Central Park, he never had any of the run-ins that Barry Bonds did in the '90s and all that.
Did he-
pissing
did
off
he-
everybody?
He's just a bitch.
Did he
Yeah.
test
Yes.
positive for steroids?
Bitch, twice.
A-Rod?
He
Bowley with his cousin got.
Oh, yeah,
And then the
yeah.
first go-around years ago. Was that the Mitchell report?
So why
He
does
was on the
so
same
why
list
does he
with,
get so why
Ortiz.
does he get the heat and Ortiz
Because he's
no
a
one
bitch.
even
because
mentions
because
it.
you know why? Because he denied. He fucking left the hearing, drove down to Francesa's studio that
I remember
afternoon, and threw a fit. And was like, "Oh fuck this! I'm not accepting that." And the next year, 6 months go by. He goes, "All right, I guess I'll take my year-long ban then."
Could it also be something about Boston and New York? Like Boston, they embrace anybody. They don't care what they do wrong. They're still going to cheer them on. I mean, look, like Euclid got run out of town, but quietly. With New
Nomar
York,
Garcia Parra got run the fuck out because he was a bitch.
right? But did Boston really talk about it? It was more whispers
Why was
and rumors.
Euclid run out of town?
I don't know.
He threw a fit. That's how he went to the White Sox. I remember that
Yeah.
too. I forgot what the
No, he
reason
came to
was.
the Yankees.
White
The
Sox
White
first.
Sox first.
Your White Sox
They
first,
just
yeah.
got rid of him as quickly as possible for some reason.
Maybe they saw his game slipping.
They were right. If that's what it was, they were right.
Remember, he had that
Slipping.
unorthodox style of batting. Remember with his hands.
No, the reason why is if you read Moneyball is because they called him the Greek god of walks because he had an eye like no other and just got on base and just worked the fucking count. 8, 9, 10 pitch at bat, got on base.
Mm-hmm.
And he obviously had a sweet stick. Got hit 330 consistently for a while.
A few years, he was good.
Yeah.
A couple of years. He was maybe had
5?
4 or 5 years tops that were considered okay.
We should
But what
do
I'm
the-
saying is maybe it's something with New York. New York is not afraid to make an everyday player a villain. they embrace that. They want to find somebody in the Yankees lineup every day that they can
Mets,
rip on.
Matt Harvey.
Mets too.
You don't produce, all of a sudden you go from being the Dark
Bitch.
Knight to being like, what's with the bitch?
That's his catchphrase.
God. Please,
So here you go.
Please,
Here's-
I hope this does not
but here's-
catch on.
But here's one steroid guy for the Yankees that just kind of skated away. You ready? Jason Giambi.
He did not skate away.
Dude,
he
they
got
had-
shit for
No.
4 years.
He got it, but it dissipated.
He also-
I apologized, and that's what he says. I apologize for what he apologized for. Just apologizing.
No.
Yeah.
He owned it.
No, he did not.
He absolutely owned it.
Dude, he
He-
apologized for nothing. That was
Okay, you know who
owned.
skated? Pettit skated.
Yes, he did.
Pettit skated way more
He also
than Giambi.
apologized, but there was
Because-
something about Giambi. He was, even if you've ever met these guys, humble brag, okay?
Have you met Pettit or Giambi?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I have a really nice Pettit ball.
Here's a humble brag.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Ding.
Downstairs in my office.
I'm more surprised you have an
Okay.
office.
Why would that surprise you? You bring up these dumb fucking random
Wait,
things.
why is someone with addiction like yours in an office? What do you do down there?
Masturbate.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you need an office for
Masturbatory.
that?
you don't want to touch my keyboard, but
Oh, hack comment check. All right, continue with your Andy Pettit story.
yeah, no. But what would we just say?
They were having lunch at a pub.
No, but
And then Gaylord Perry comes over and says, "Get the fuck out of here, you cheating piece of shit."
And they asked
No,
about
but-
chimichangas.
Yes.
Pettit is not a Hall of Famer, even if
Oh, he's
without.
borderline.
He's not a Hall of Famer because
Yes.
for as many good games he had, he also had some awful
Very
games in World
true,
Series.
but he's known for being a big-time pitcher in the playoffs.
I disagree.
He has a stink.
He was
He
known
has-
for it,
I disagree,
but he wasn't.
he wasn't.
Same thing with Posada.
Knew was a-
Everyone
knew was a
said
bigger
he
game.
was a clutch hitter. He wasn't.
Who was a bigger
He's
postseason
a good
pitcher?
hitter.
Al Leiter.
Oh, really, Mr. Fucking? When they played the Marlins back-to-back years,
He-
and they blew those leads, Al Leiter lasted 2/3 of a fucking inning.
Overrated.
Big pitcher.
Okay, when the Mets had to play a one-game playoff with Cincinnati,
One game.
one game to get into the
that
playoffs.
Was that was the one game that you can cite that. And what happened? Al Leiter pitched against the Yankees was it Game 5?
When he
first pitch of the game, Jeter,
Because-
boom, goodbye. Okay, he was not a big time pitcher.
He
Stop.
absolutely was.
The Reds game
with
is
the
when it was
Marlins, he
over.
pitches the Game 7 that they win.
Okay, two
He's a-
games. Two games. You,
Pretty good.
but you make it sound like he has a body of work. He,
He-
does not have a
he
body of
does.
work.
Who's got a body? CC Sabathia was a big game pitcher.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
there
that-
we
you got
go.
Sound effects now? Is
George.
that the warning there or no?
No, we have time.
Yeah.
That's just George.
Sabathia-
You know, that was George. Letting you know your comment was
That was Frank talking right
off.
there. Good try, Jeff. Good
Awful.
Try. Frank was somebody-
Jack Morris was a big game pitcher.
Yes, he was.
Absolutely.
Smoltz was a big game pitcher.
Yes, he
Absolutely.
Al Leiter was not. Neither
Maddox.
was
I
Pettit.
disagree.
Maddox. Oh shit, I don't remember. Yeah,
All those 95. Well, I mean, and what's his
How big
Glavin
are-
was until he got to the
Glavin,
Mets.
I would say how big could he be? How many World Series did they lose? Glavin and
The Buffalo Bills
Don't
of
ever.
baseball was
Glavin
the
was
championship.
is my most hated Met.
Really?
I
Why?
fucking hate him. Oh, do I? Here's the reason why.
Oh.
Okay, there we go. We got a couple of effects here now. Now this is a quality show. Okay. Now we're doing some good stuff. Here's the reason why. Because in his last season with the Mets, okay, they needed to win a game against the Marlins. It was the second time. And Johan pitched on 3 days rest, and his arm was falling off. And he pitched them,
did.
and they were there, and he was a fucking horse, and he was a stud. And then here comes Glavin, and you just got to beat the Marlins, and you're in the playoffs. This motherfucker goes out there. First inning, get shelled.
I remember that.
7 runs.
Laughing my balls off on that couch. Oh.
He never wanted never wanted to be a Met. He only wanted to be with the Braves. Then he leaves and becomes. I'm glad he won his 300th game with the Mets, so he couldn't do it in Atlanta. I can't stand him. I can't listen to that Metallica song that he came into anymore. He used to come into a Metallica song.
You know what's funny? Billy Wagner tried to come into Inner Sandman, and they just booed the piss at him for
I
that.
remember that.
I went to Yankees Philly in Philly, and they were like, they played that. It's funny. I sat with 25, just not people I came with, but just happened to sit at the Yankee section, and they just fucking unleashed holy hell on him. Like, fuck you. This ain't your song, you hillbilly piece of shit.
You know who I think is kind of overrated? Speaking of Enter Sandman, Mariano.
Okay.
Is he your first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
I want to hear your argument why he isn't.
He is?
Yeah.
Here's the reason why.
You having lunch with Mariano?
No.
Let's give him the rope, Frank.
No. You want to bash out lighter. Mariano Rivera, he blew the World Series against Arizona. Overrated. How many games? He blew the game against the Red Sox.
This is what we call being facetious.
He stinks.
You never know with a Mets fan, though.
That's true.
Everybody
who
wants to suck off Mariano. Fuck Mariano.
You know who's a great best reliever of all time? Bobby Parr now.
Are you going back to the Dice impression?
That's a queen impression.
It should be crickets on that. I don't know what the frog was doing in there.
Right.
Okay, yeah. But, Mariano, is he better than Bruce Sutter?
Absolutely.
Yes.
There's no Mariano Rivera is the best reliever of all. He's the absolute
Better than Fingers?
Yep, without a doubt.
Trevor Hoffman?
Yep. Oh, please,
Yeah.
Trevor Hoffman.
Hoffman accumulated
Garbage.
stats.
I'm gonna say next. Eric Gagne. Gonna ask me about him
Eric
too.
Gagne had some great
piece
years.
of shit. Also,
Oh,
steroids.
knew who was right there who's very underrated?
I said he's overrated, Gagne. But go ahead. Who?
Johnny F.
I knew you were going to go there.
I
knew you were going to go there.
Because we're here, Frank. Johnny F. Johnny Franco. Brooklyn Zone.
St. John. Yeah.
St. John's.
get
He
it.
wore the FDNY shirt during the
Oh,
9/11.
easy. Oh, good
Come on, man. How do you not love John
He's
Franco?
fine. What do you want?
Lived on Staten Island.
How many years does Tim Raines have left on the ballot?
He's up there.
He is, right?
There's like a I like the segue, by the way. He could get in on a year like the one coming up when there's no clear cut guy.
I think Vlad Guerrero walks in.
You think he's going in there? I think he'll get like 50, 60%.
I think there's going to be pressure on the whole that they have to put. You can't go.
They had 1 year where no one went in.
2 years ago.
Right.
So you can't go two out of the last 4 years. Two of them. You don't know how it kills that town.
Exactly. That's the 1 weekend a year where everyone's like excited because they're going to make probably their entire 10 months.
But it's not the Hall of Fame's responsibility to make sure that this town survives. It's like if they're
no, but
dependent
political
on someone
favors
getting
will be
in-
traded, I'm sure.
No, but I mean, listen. But the economic success of the Hall of Fame, is predicated on people coming up there too. Like, why the fuck are you going up there? Hall of Fame weekend if you're not inducting anybody, you're going to induct some old-time umpire, which they did that 1 year. And instead of having 15, 20,000 people, I think they had maybe about 1,500. Like, nobody came up.
Yeah, the guy's family.
And then exactly. And then the next year, you go up and you see about 4 or 5 stores out of business.
Imagine how
totally
big
ruins
it's
them.
going to be when Mariano.
Well, it's funny you say
And
that.
it's gonna be back to back.
I've
gonna be
never
amazing.
Yes.
been to Cooperstown yet, and I told my brother, I'm like, we're gonna go. I said, but here's why: we're gonna go see Mariano because it's gonna be bad, but Jeter is gonna be 50 times fucking worse up there.
I think
Time to invest in Cooperstown right now.
It's time to get a hotel room right about now.
Yeah.
Well, what you can do is there's real estate up there right by like the Hall of Fame. You can buy a house up there for about $75,000. Now, say you get a couple of your friends, you chip in for the house,
Right?
Use it like. Each of you use it a couple of weekends out of the year. You'll all go up there for Cooperstown. Maybe you rent out a couple of rooms during it. You could wind up making your money back. It's not a bad investment.
So wait, how did you get? So where'd you stay? Hotel, Airbnb? What'd you do?
No, Airbnb, no. Where we do the shows is there's a place called the Limestone Mansion, and we've been going up there for years, and that's where we do it. And we stay there. There's another place where Hojo and Lenny stayed, and that's where I think we're going to wind up moving everything.
Did they bring 2 U-Hauls full of booze again and trying to bang under college pussy like Dykstra said last time?
No, didn't happen.
Great. We as I said, Lenny, what's the best and worst cities for pussy? He goes, well, Pittsburgh is the worst by far. Because all the coal miners, it's all incest and all the daughters are all fucking gross. He's like, but later on, I'd get all my buddies and tell them to go get 2 U-Hauls filled with booze and drive to the University of Pittsburgh and fuck college girls. So that's making lemons out of lemonade.
They did say that, yeah. which was a very funny story. He was the character.
That was the best one. Oh yeah, that was funny. So Cooperstown, good stuff, huh?
Cooperstown, good stuff. Always good to see like a lot of these players. There were Eric Davis was up there. There was a couple like oddball type. News up there every year. Remember Denny McClain?
Yeah, Tigers pitcher, 31 games.
Last pitcher to win
30 games.
30 games. He's up there every year. They had a table of 69 Mets of Art Shamsky, Ron Swoboda, Ed Kranepool, and Cleon Jones.
Kranepool I've met a couple times. Really nice guy.
Really nice guy.
Yeah.
But let's see, who else could we say? Pete Rose is up there every year.
Does he have to pay to get in?
Looks
fucking crime.
Looks like
shit.
He looks like a corpse, and it looks like someone took packets of soy sauce and dumped it on his hair.
Doesn't he look like? He looks like Caitlyn Jenner in some pictures. I think
he does. He really does have the face and the body right now of a zombie, but he has the hair of like a 14-year-old, of a 14-year-old Mo Howard.
My Lord,
he still has that
timely reference, Jeffrey Paul. Timely reference.
Yes, he looks like Little Lord Fauntleroy if he died and came back as a zombie.
You just re-raised that timely reference with another timely reference, Little Lord Fauntleroy.
Little Lord Fauntleroy.
Some of us born in the 80s are very confused.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in '76, but Jesus Christ, let's go Google that, Frank.
It's literary classic. Okay, who else do I see up there every year? Oh, Steve Garvey was up there this year.
Yeah.
Remember he had like a hot wife. They kind of had a talk show, I think, in the 70s.
He was in a lot of TV sitcoms. Made a lot of TV appearances.
Yeah, remember Cindy Garvey?
No.
Yeah, and then I think he kind of like knocked her around a little bit.
Who was the Met pitcher a few years ago with the really attractive model wife?
Oh, Chris Benson.
Yes.
She's batshit crazy.
Right? Yeah, she ruined his career.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, and that was the thing with Brett Grimes. Is his wife kind of?
I saw that.
Yeah, because no one would sign him for a little bit, and he finally got signed for under value of a contract because his wife, with social media, is really can be kind of divisive in a clubhouse. But do you remember what Anna Benson
she
said?
said, "Fuck all the clubhouse, the managers, and the other coaches. Cheating.
If I ever caught him cheating,
on Stern.
If I ever caught him cheating, I'd fuck all his teammates.
Oh my God.
And 10 years later, she probably looks like all of his old teammates right now.
Well, she was on one of those reality shows.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
She turned up on one of those reality shows, and she's like kind of like the leader of this group of women.
The blind leading the blind.
Yeah. I can't take your reference.
The blind leading the blind. That's not a common.
It's just awful.
How is that awful?
It's just it doesn't work there.
Of course it does.
No,
a dumbass broad like that leading a bunch of other reality stars around.
Anywho,
I think it makes perfect sense. No one else batted an eye.
She's still
overruled.
She's still kind of like hot. She's kind of like she. Would you say was she a 10?
No. She's damn close. She's she's got to be like at least a fucking solid 8 or 9, right? All right.
No, she's more than an 8.
Pull up some pictures.
Crazy.
I think she's more
crazy. You lose points, don't you?
Well, no, because that translates to fucking. She'll lick your ass off their 5 mile run in the bedroom. I think that could be good, right?
I think damaged goods. The number's going up a little bit.
Well, it depends on what kind of relationship we're talking. Long term, no. Short term, like you meet her for a few nights in a city you're traveling to. Yeah, that's a fucking home run.
Yeah, but she got
right.
She got a little heavier. But she still,
but
she still got like those like melon heavy tits, and
the way you said tits is so creepy.
Yeah, that was
tits. Sound like Ronnie the limo driver.
That was Paul Jeffrey coming in for a second. Jeffrey Paul. It's like your alter ego is just creepy as fuck, making '60s references.
Yeah. Enchiladas. Talk about it, you dirty whore. She was a 9. I would tell. Listen, there's no guy here except Mike Piazza who would not fuck her. That's for sure. I would bang her. She's hot, but what's she look like now? A 5, 6? What would you say?
I would say she is a 40-something-year-old 7.
What's that make her like? Okay, I gotcha. What does that make her like? Straight out, take the age out of the equation.
It all has to do with time. Like if you caught her at 7:00 after a shower, okay, and she's in her dress and the makeup is still fresh and the back sweat isn't going down, she's gorgeous.
But rolls out of bed at fucking 8 in the morning.
Now all of a sudden, 3 hours go by, little humid outside, okay, and the back sweat is going. She's dropping down to maybe 6.5.
Interesting.
Poor Anna.
Poor Chris.
Yeah.
How many millions do you
together, right?
No, I think they got divorced.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I thought I read somewhere that they got divorced.
And she got.
I think they get divorced. Yeah.
That's interesting. We could have talked about the hottest wives in baseball.
Didn't the Mets trade a pretty good prospect for him?
He was okay with the Pirates. It was a good deal at the time.
No, wait. He came. This is what.
Wait, he was with the Pirates first or the Orioles first? I knew it was.
He was with the
Pirates first, right?
First.
I thought so. Then the Orioles after the Mets.
But this is what happened.
Orioles to Mets.
The Mets made a trade. They made 2 trades at the deadline. They traded for Chris Benson, which turned out, was a good trade because I don't think they gave anything big. The second trade they made that day was a very famous trade that was the Mets had a prospect named Scott Kazmir.
Yeah, of course.
Who's still playing.
Wow, I remember him.
Okay,
Tampa got him.
He was
Tampa Products, yeah.
He goes to Tampa Bay.
No, he was from Tampa Bay.
Right, but the Mets drafted him.
Yeah.
He had a cup of coffee with the Mets, but then the Mets decide, you know what, we're going to trade Scott Kazmir because they had this arrogant pitching coach named Rick Peterson.
Yeah, I remember him.
And Rick Peterson said, there's this guy on the Tampa Bay Rays named Zambrano.
Victor Zambrano, ex-Cub too.
Not the Cub, his
Oh,
brother.
the other one. Oh, yeah.
That's Carlos.
That's
Carlos
yeah.
fought everybody.
Right.
No, it was
Yeah.
Victor Zambrano.
Victor was the weird-looking
Carlos
guy.
was the guy who was actually pretty good on
But
the
he
Cubs.
fought everyone.
So Victor Zambrano comes. He's like, I can fix him in 10 minutes, and we saw what
Great job.
right?
Yeah.
And Kazmir had some very good years. Got hurt.
He had some
came
like
back.
2 or 3 like monster years, but he's been so
But
injury
they could-
off and on.
but
I know.
The thing is, they always could have had. They could have always done better in a trade than what they had got, and they get Victor Zambrano. But they were saying even
Steve Phillips for you kids.
Was that Steve Phillips?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I think it was. Although Piazza was very generous to him in the he really kind of like.
That's like the crown jewel he had, but for every Piazza, he's got 5 Casimirs.
That was a rough trade, but they got I forgot who they
And
traded
Tom
for.
Glavine.
They used to be very good at that.
Your boyfriend.
Glavine, I hated him.
He was also Alomar and Movon and all of them.
Cliff
right?
Floyd.
Wasn't all Steve Phillips?
Yeah.
yeah. But also was it Omar who got Johan?
Yes. I remember the story real fast because we got to get out of here. I was reading Sports Illustrated, and Fred Wilpon bought him a pair of Prada shoes because he was so fired up that he fucking got him because he got Johan Santana. He's like, if you get Johan Santana, because he was talking about it, he goes, I'll buy that pair of Prada shoes you're looking
As
at.
a Met fan, man,
Yeah.
will always have a place in my heart. I remember sitting with Pudge Fernandez in his car right before we were supposed to do a show at New York Comedy Club, listening to the radio that last inning. And just saying, please let this game end already before we have to go in and do the show. We want to hear the no-hitter. I always remember that.
And that was the last you've heard of Johan Santana. Well, kids,
Pretty much,
it's
yeah.
been a fucking hoot nanny, but let's get to the
fast
plugs
today.
real fast. Frank Pellegrino, you said, you're a great guest today.
Oh, thank you.
Why don't you tell everyone what you're up to?
Yonkers Comedy Festival is kicking up again, October 9 to 16. We are still taking submissions. We're going to have more shows, more fun, more industry is going to be there. So if you're a comedian listening, submit. If you're not, come on out. Go to nomacomedy.com to check out all the information.
You got any big names attached yet? That you care to
not
announce?
officially.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a couple, though, working on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That was a good festival last year. Actually, Al and I judged one of the shows.
Yeah.
That was actually very good.
Cool.
Good talent on that.
Jeffrey Paul, where can we find you besides your office jerking off on your computer screen?
When I'm not jerking off in the office, I will be
Interviewing people about tacos and burritos and enchiladas.
August 2nd at the Starboard in Delaware, and August 11th at the Funny Bone in Hartford.
Oh.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Doing that in a couple. Jesus Christ, 6 texts. A couple bar shows here in fucking stop texting me, wife. Brooklyn, who cares? Big one here. Taping the panel for Comics Watching Comics, episode 3 on Sunday. Richie Redding will be on the panel.
Nice.
Opens
That's a
for
good
Kevin.
one.
I love Richie Redding.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's a good
very
panel.
funny.
Yeah.
This is season 2?
Episode 3. Mike Gaffney from Last Comic
love
Stand
Mike
and
Gaffney.
Access TV. And Ray Goots,
Love the
manager
Goots.
of Caroline's. He's seen a lot of talent come to the door. I said, you know what the hell, let's get the Goots' opinion. And we're working on those for episode 4. But yeah, so we're taping that. Keep your eyes peeled at Comics Watching on Twitter, comicswatchingcomics.com, and Kevin Goatee at Kevin GOOTEE. This has been the Sportsbook Box Office Podcast, guys. Thanks so much, Frank. Thanks for coming out, hanging out. And George Engineer, thank you very much. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
So long. You have fun?
Yeah, this is really fun.
It was good,
Yeah.
right?